Hi and welcome to this tutorial on Frasier, the new melody generating script from Logic Scripts. I will be showing you Frasier in context with a little project that I also used for the Piano Boss tutorial / demo. What I've done is I've muted the original piano melody and I will try and create a melody using Frasier in its place. So our background without a melody right now sounds like this. Okay. So first off, get yourself an instrument that you like. In this case, I am going to be using an Easy Keys piano with a little bit of a plate reverb on it. Now, once you got your instrument set up the way you want it, create a duplicate of it, and I'll explain later why. What you can do with a duplicate is to remove scripter from it. Okay. Now we'll leave that for now. We'll go back to our original instrument where we will be creating the melodies. So insert an instance of scripter into the MIDI effects plugin slot as usual. If you don't have Frasier already, you won't have the presets, so you just take your text file and copy paste into the script editor, replacing whatever is in there already. I have Frasier already saved in my presets, so next step is to go into the couple of settings that are inside the script editor for you to change. The enable complex setting switches from this rather simple couple of scales to a whole bunch of complex scales, so a couple of hundred of scales for you to choose from. And the enable triplet setting, where in the default mode you only have your regular note lengths. If you enable triplets, you will also have stuff like 1/3, 1/6 note, etc. What else? Yeah, when you first fire up scripter, it looks something like this. I suggest that for Frasier you draw it out on the edge a little bit to the side, that you get a better overview like this. Okay. But for the sake of this tutorial, we will be running with the off settings both for complex and for triplex. So we can run script and get rid of this for now. Okay. Frasier is two parts actually. One part or one mode is the creation of the melody, and the other mode is the playback of the melody. And with the playback comes this extra instrument, which I will be explaining to you in a few seconds. But first off, the settings for creating a melody. Length of the phrase in beats. For our example, let's go with 4 beats. The best results you will receive when the minimum and the maximum note length aren't too far apart. The absolute best result is if you have a fixed note length. Here you choose which scale the melody will be created in. So you have a trigger note, say I press C3 on my keyboard. I will get a C major scale based melody. The phrase creation mode is either completely random or musically weighted. I won't bother to go into details on what this means. Suffice it to say, the musically weighted one will give you a more human sounding result and not so robotic. If you wish to extend the range of your melody to be wider than just 1 octave, you can add an octave below or an octave above, or even 2, I think. Sorry. Yeah, you can expand the range of your melody. The pauses probability is a setting for how many percent of the notes will randomly be turned into pauses instead of notes. upon creation. Humanized velocity is if you don't want to have a uniform velocity for all the notes in your melody or in your hook. You can set this to a percentage. So at 20% it would then randomly offset the velocity of the notes in your melody plus minus 20% compared to the original trigger note. Random legato length is it adds a little bit of a tail to some of the notes, but if you set this too high, this will also extend the overall length of your phrase with some unwanted results. So this is best used with relatively low values. But again, this is to combat the robotic sound of a randomly generated melody. Okay, so much for the actual creation of phrases. Let's erase all the saved phrases here by checking this box. Now we have a blank slate to work with. Now I know that this song is in E major, so I will be slamming just the E3 key on my keyboard here a couple of times to generate melodies. And while we do that, you'll see that this menu starts to fill up here with phrases, and once we have a couple, we can listen back and see if there's particular ones that we like. I like the number 6 there. I like the number 8. I liked number 8 and 11. So let's say we are happy with 8 and 11. To audition, if you don't remember all of them, you can just audition them by choosing the one you want to audition here in the menu and hitting play. Okay, so I was going on about 8, right? Pretty nice, and 11, I think. Okay, so let's say we are happy with those two. Let's just choose those two for simplicity here, so I don't spend an hour on this or an hour of your time doing this tutorial. Okay, so we will then use the notes next to the phrases we liked. I think it was 8 and 11, as these notes will be triggering the phrase once we're in playback mode. So if I hit playback mode here, I've got to go back and check. So it was G minus 2 and A sharp minus 2. If we create notes in the corresponding places, you will see what I mean. And I've already forgotten what notes those were. G minus 2 and A sharp minus 2. Create a note. G minus 2. Actually, the length of the note does not matter much here, because it will trigger the whole phrase regardless of how long a note you make here. And A sharp minus 2 will slam it on there some place. Okay, so if I'm not completely mistaken, this should at least make a sound. Let's hear what it sounds like. Okay, so we have a little bit of a melody going on. Had we spent a little more time, I'm sure we would have generated even better melodies, but let's stick with these now. Now, the bad part about Scripter is there is absolutely no way to store stuff like this. So we have to come up with a workaround. Even though we're in playback mode and we have our recall menu, as soon as you shut your project down. Even if you save it, next time you open it up, these the created phrases will be gone. So what can we do? There is one rather easy way to bounce the MIDI. Now this requires that you have already activated the IAC driver in your audio MIDI setup, but I assume you know how to do it and where it is. If not, there is an instruction on the logicscripts.net site under instructions. At the very top there is a link to an article from Audio Mag, or Ask Audio Mag. I'm sorry, I'm not sure what it's called, but there you have a pretty good explanation how to do this. However, I do it a little bit differently than they show you for the actual bouncing. What I will do is I will take, and the reason I'm doing it differently is because it won't work with Scripter the way they have shown you. Let's say we are pleased with the melody here, the stuff that we created, and we want to bounce it down. What you do there is change your instrument from your easy keys or whatever you have to utility, external instrument. For the MIDI destination, choose your IAC driver. I've named my MIDI FX record. Okay. And then choose record on this instrument the copy of your original instrument. So now if we record this, we should end up with a MIDI file with the actual phrases on it here. Okay. So if we mute this original, we will then have our bounced MIDI here in the on the second track, so we can tweak it further and see if there's any stupidity or if you want to play around with it. But that's the way to save your phrases. Unfortunately, as I said, once you shut Logic down, anything that was in Scripter, because these are temporary variables that aren't really saved anywhere other than while you're working with them. So to bounce it down, this is how you do it. And let's take a listen to this again. So there you have it. You can create melodies, recall them, audition them, and with a little bit of extra work you can also bounce them down to MIDI. What have I not shown you? I haven't shown you how to make more complex melodies. I suggest start off simple and increase the complexity, well, the complexness, whatever it's called in English, the level of complexity, the very complicatedness, whatever. Increase that as you go along. I wouldn't put this value too high because it will mess a bit with your note lengths and stuff. And also, if you put the pause probability too high, you will end up with pretty boring melodies. Yeah, I haven't shown you this little function. It's it's a little bit of a fluff thing, but if you want to see what notes are in a certain phrase, you can hit trace here, and absolutely nothing happens for some reason. I have no idea why. Oh, maybe because we don't have a phrase there anymore. Yeah, I probably already erased the phrases, unfortunately. Anyway, if you do have a phrase here, it will show you that was this and that note, but it's mainly or just an information type of function. What else can you do that I haven't shown you? No, that's pretty much it. You can let me know if you have any questions or anything doesn't make sense in the comments below. Check biologicscripts.net for this and other scripts. And let me know if you need any help with getting this IAC driver thing working. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.